In the rideshare transportation system, the passengers are divided into two separate but equally pretentious groups: the snobs who say nothing, and the drunk assholes that either make or break my night. Here are my stories. Oh, y'all thought I had the whole thing? Hold this intro though. Hello, beautiful person. Yes, you, beautiful person. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. My name is oHSoIcoNic, but if I could, say it with me now. I'd be just like you. And today, I got some more tales from the whip. Now, the first story I'm going to start off with is when I went to go pick up Jane. I go pick up Jane from excuse me, I believe I'm being beckoned.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
It's got to be in all of them. I can't do nothing. I can't have no conversation, nothing. Alright, so today's story, like I was saying, I'm going to go pick up Jane. Now I'm downtown Chicago if I'm not mistaken. And when I go to get Jane, I'm actually finding out that I'm picking up Jane and her beau John. So as far as trying to get the channel to grow, I've been handing out business cards to the passengers that I take care of on the whip. So after I started talking to them about the channel, they started asking about what the channel was about. Of course, I started telling them about the quick chats and the poetry and how feature the babies and things like that. And I asked them if they wanted to see something, right? So they asked me if there was a specific video that they should watch, and I told them, yeah, why oHSoIcoNic. The thing about this particular video, if you haven't seen it yet, is that it's all audio and visuals in the background, right? So you can hear me more than you actually see me. Here's where it gets interesting. Jane and John are watching this video. Now, John is the first one to comment on the voice and says, wow, you have something like a radio voice. It sounds really good. I said, well, thank you so much, John. I actually really appreciate that. Now, Jane, she seconds that, right? But the way she seconded was a little bit kind of, I wouldn't want my partner, yes, you, LaTanya, I wouldn't want my partner responding like this, particularly in front of me, because her response to him was like, it is, it's a sexy voice. Toasty! Exactly, right? So I'm sitting there, and at this point I'm locked in, I'm up front, just like, oh shit. So hoping he doesn't respond. They get through the video now, that they were silent. So now I'm like, oh shit, what did I start, right? Oh, fuck. At the end of the video, he starts asking some questions about the graph.
12 seconds later.
So he was actually the first one to start asking about the details of the video. And so I broke down why the graphics and things like that and had him ask a few more questions. Now at that point, she hadn't said anything. She was the one that had the video on her phone, and it looked like she was continuing to scroll through her phone. Or at least this is what I'm seeing. I see the light from her phone in the background. Oops, sorry, baby. I see the light from her phone in the background. So a second later, I hear, wait, what are you doing? What? I'm just checking out the channel. So then at that point, now he's reliving this shit, right? He goes, well, what did he say? What did he say? Oh, that's right. He said something along the lines of, wow, it's bad enough you're in love with his voice, you gotta just go grubbing through his channel too. And I'm just grubbing through his channel. Anyway, so they ended up arguing about that behind me, and then he tries to throw me into it, right? He goes, hey, but seriously, like, don't mean to throw you into it. Really, nigga?
Now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
Yeah, don't mean to throw you into it, but I mean, seriously, like, I was like, hey, honestly, like, I didn't intend for any of this. I just wanted to share the video. I apologize. I appreciate you both for the compliment. Like, I tried to kind of diffuse it that way. I appreciate you both for the compliment. They end up sitting opposite each other. It was about a 25-minute ride. I was actually taking them, they didn't speak for the rest of the ride. I don't know if they're still together.
Wouldn't let that shit happen to me though.
So one night I actually had just dropped somebody off at Midway. Now, when I'm typically doing airport runs, I'll flip out the airport and then go straight to the lot and wait around, see if I can get another ride. On my way back to the lot though, I actually got a ride for John, okay? So I peeled off of the road, I go to get John. John was at a motel not too far from Midway, okay? I pull up, John is actually standing there with his Jane, and they're hugging and embracing. I'm assuming that one of them is about to come with me, assuming John, right? Well, John actually goes back into the hotel. Jane comes to the car. She actually requests if we could stop at a liquor store that's actually on the way to her destination. Again, I said it before, I'm not tripping off stuff like that. It's on the way. He was the one that called the ride, so there'd be this whole big thing not worth it, right? So I stop. She's like, hey, thank you so much. So she goes in.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
She finally comes back out. Gives me a 10. I'm like, oh, this is, hey, appreciate it. You didn't have to do that, right? I drop her off, right? End of story. So now I'm going to go get another ride. I'm going to pick up another Jane. So I'm on the E-way and I get a phone call from California area code. Now sometimes they call from California up in NorCal sometimes, right? So I pick up the phone. This is Tim. This is Agent so-and-so with the FBI. Where are you? Whoa, 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 whoa. What in the entire are you talking about? Like, now my other passengers she can hear this because I'm driving. So I said, I don't know what you're talking about. I have another passenger. Where we have here that she stopped at another place, and I'm like, well, yeah, she asked me to stop and get her liquor. Like, how did you get this number? He did something and actually got my information. If he was FBI, I assumed that he had that kind of pull to be able to do something like that, right? So now at this point, my passenger in the back is freaking out, just like I am freaking out, because he has all these details about what I did, where I stopped, how long I was there, and knew that I was actually on the E-way, right? He asked if she was still with me. I said, no, I have a completely different passenger. He goes, well, where did you go after you stopped? I said, I stopped at the liquor store and I dropped her out at the location. Well, what did you all do? I'm confused. We were in the middle of a prostitute sting operation. Apparently, he was a John. Literally, he was the John, right? He thought that when I stopped off to let her get her beer, that me and her had did the do off the bam. And I'm like, well, what is it with all these guys getting in my car? That was going on. All the crazies getting in my car. Man.
I'm fighting for my life.
That's a true story. I laugh about it now, but it's a true story. In the moment, I was really confused, but that's just one of those tales from the whip, all right? Let me know what you thought about these stories down below in the comment section. Thank you so much again for watching this video all the way to the end. Subscribe to the channel, check these out. My name is oHSoIcoNic, but at the end of the day, say it with me, you're the icons. I'll see you in the next one.